You ended up graduating high school at 16 years old, and you were presented with a really, really interesting decision. Just from an outside looking in, there's not a lot of baseball players that had to make this decision, but you graduate and have to make the decision of becoming a doctor and going to med school or signing to play professional baseball. I guess first off what was the decision-making process like for you?
Well, the decision-making process was I had my mom's side of the family that they are all very academical. Like my mom was a doctor. I have aunts that are engineers, oil engineers,
Mhm.
computer engineers, computer science, lawyers. So you have that. I have that side of the family. Then I have my dad, who was a doctor, very good doctor, who also played baseball. So I think he had a better feeling of like how this decision can really change some things in the future down the road. So eventually what it came down with was just me having a good chat with my dad, and my dad first of all letting me know that whatever the decision was going to be, I would have 100% of his support regardless of the decision. But then he did say, like, if you choose to go for the to be a doctor, I have no doubt in my mind you're going to be the best doctor you can be. But just realize that if you go that way and then you try to jump on the baseball train again, it's going to be very hard to do that. Whereas if you take the baseball opportunity now, that I have no doubt you're going to be the best version of yourself. And if for some reason it doesn't work out, you realize it's not what you want to do, it's going to be fairly easier to take that step back and jump right into college after that. And then he left me with that. And then at the end, he said, like, just as you grow older, the body gets weaker, but the mind gets stronger. Obviously, and then when you put that into perspective, when you go to college, your mind is the one doing most of the work. So I think that really stuck with me, and it just made the decision easier. But at the same time, made me realize that if I'm going to pursue this baseball career, I need to be very committed to it, because if I end up not liking it, I know the other opportunity, I know what could have been. So I think that just kept me motivated, and it just kept me trying to trying to ask myself, am I going to do today what's going to help me get where I want to be tomorrow? So I think that was
Yeah.
just like, it kept me just, I need to make sure that I'm doing the things today that are going to help me reach where I want to get with the decision I'm making. So I think it was a very good chat, very good. It was a big debate because they happened around the same time, but
Yeah.
I think I was able to not rush into anything.
That's awesome, man. That's a really cool story. And I also read somewhere that you promised your grandma that you would go to college and you would get your degree. What's an update there? Have you started that process yet? Where do we stand with that deal?
I have not yet. I still owe it to my grandma. That's my mom's mom, so that's the very academic side. So she was one of the persons I was not very excited when I made the baseball decision, just because
Yeah.
she didn't really understand the baseball world. Now obviously now she's very proud of me, and making her proud is one of my biggest, like, it gives me so much happiness. But I haven't taken any first steps on that, but I think that promise stays and will always remain. Like, however long of a baseball career I'm allowed to have,
Hmm.
whenever that time comes, I do want to go into the academic route and just get something. Obviously, it doesn't have to be doctor, because we all know how long that takes. But I do want to get some sort of like degree, something that just allows me to
Yeah.
tell my grandma, tell my family, like, I was able to pursue one of my dreams, but also just re do something about on the other aspect. So that remains true. That still remains one of my goals.
That's really cool, man. The arm, I think you made the right decision. The arm doesn't last after a couple years. You can't just pick it back up, but your brain will stay there. And I think you'll be able to do that for sure, which is thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.